What's going on, guys? I got a maintenance to go to today. Lady said that she thinks something's wrong with her unit, and gonna go figure that out. But I don't know why she scheduled a maintenance if she thinks something's wrong with her system. But we're gonna go figure out why that is. All right, we just arrived at the house. I can see a Goodman unit out here. It's always a special surprise. So anyway, I'm gonna talk to the customer and yeah, look at that system. All right, we got this here Goodman system, and I went upstairs and turned it on to cooling. Nothing happened yet. We'll see if that's a problem or if it's just a delay. So we got a Goodman furnace. Looks like we got a 2016, just under 10 years old. It's 80,000 BTU, 96%, with a, looks like either a 1.5 or a 2-ton coil. We will figure that out as well. So anyway, burner compartment looks pretty good, but that's not really what we're here for today. Boiler compartment, we're gonna see if this thing, we're gonna close this door switch here in a minute and see if we're getting a call for cooling. 911 filter, pretty dirty. Looks like they changed it in December. It is April 1st right now, so it's about 3 months past due, and it's a MERV 11, so we're going to restrict airflow, especially with the return not being the biggest. Still haven't got our call for cooling yet on here, so I'm going to go mess with the thermostat here in a second. So I went upstairs because we hadn't got our call for cooling yet, and just kind of plopped the thermostat off the wall just to verify that the wires looked good, and I popped it back on the wall, and now we have a call for cooling. So it seems like there was probably an intermittent connection inside of that thermostat that was not allowing Y to be make good connections. So we got cooling now, so we'll see how the system's doing. So I was, I guess since the system started running, I was going to put my probes in the system. Yeah, just taking a peek around and look and see where the best spot was to do that. Looks like we got a supply hole here that is completely open, just pushing air into the basement. And then the return, I was kind of just taking a peek at the return here, and it looks like we also have a return hole that is just open to the basement. I really don't want that if we can avoid it, so that we're not sucking in humid air, like humid basement air, into the system. But also we're, pumping supply air out into the basement. I assume either some ducts got terminated, or there was airflow issues with this system being choked down. So they just cut another hole in 2 different spots to find a ghetto way to solve that issue. But anyway, getting the temperature split, and I'm gonna go from there and keep figuring out what all is going on here. And I realized that this is a 12-inch return going to this system, which for 80,000 BTU, that's definitely not enough. I'm gonna go on ductulator here in a minute and kind of figure out what would be enough. I assume more along the lines of like a 16-inch round, or maybe adding some more runs. But anyway, the old evaporator coil here. We've got an aluminum tube and fin coil. Looks like we got a fixed metering device. Okay. We did get about 23-degree temperature split. Now we do have that dirty filter in, so that could have made our temperature split a bit high. I'm gonna look and see if the underneath side of this evaporator coil, how that looks. I'll try to get a peek in there. Camera doesn't want to focus. Evaporator coil airflow side doesn't look too crazy. I mean, we got a little bit of stuff up in there, but otherwise it's not too bad. Looks like we got some kitchen grease in there. All right, now I'm gonna check this capacitor, and I'm also going to check the cleanliness of that blower, especially considering these filters haven't been changed enough. Yeah. Something like that. It's got a little bit of dust in the grate. I don't think it's gonna cause us an airflow restriction with that one. I think it's gonna cause us an airflow restriction. It's gonna be this and this, and I have a feeling that's why we had a 23 split instead of a 20 or 18. Alrighty, so I got the system put back together. Evaporator coil looks all right, no rust or corrosion, and I don't suspect a huge airflow restriction on there. Blower's all right, kind of the same. A little bit of schmutz on there, but not really airflow restriction level. I went ahead and took this filter out for now, so that way, whenever I run it again, I don't want anything to freeze up, especially with having only 12 inches of return. But now I'm gonna go to the outdoor unit. I'm gonna turn this back on, get cooling running again, go to the outdoor unit, get my fan amperages, compressor amperages, check the capacitor, and then wash that coil off pretty good. So that's the plan. So far though, I do have some recommendations as far as duct related stuff, but inside, as far as equipment, mostly healthy. But yeah, I'm gonna go out there and see what's going on with the outdoor. Alrighty, here is our Goodman outdoor unit. It's more than likely just as old as the other one, just under 10 years old. And we're gonna get some amperages on this thing, fan and compressor, see how those are doing. We'll also check out the capacitor, see how that's doing, and then I'm gonna take this thing apart and give her a good wash. So that's the plan for now. Our fan is pulling 0.72 amps. And if I can get to this compressor wire here, and I'll put the phone down. The compressor is pulling 4.13 amps. So here in a minute, I'll look at the data tag and see if that all is within spec. I assume it is. That doesn't seem too bad. But I'll also look at the capacitor afterwards, because if any of these numbers are high, it could be due to a bad capacitor or a weak one. So I'm gonna kind of dig into that as well. Well, that's sketchy. I've never seen a disconnect like this before. Yeah, and there's a wasp in there, but looks like I can just pull it from here, and that just fell off. So I'm probably gonna recommend her to replace this. This is kind of sketchy capacitor. So this is actually no, this is a 45/5, 43.8. I'm gonna do the math on that here in a minute. Let's see what the fan side looks like. 4.9. Fan looks pretty good, but our compressor 43.8. That doesn't seem too low to me. I'll do math on that and make sure that that's not too low. I'm not good at mental math. Took me a while to get the old fan top off, because Goodman apparently nowadays is putting their wires through loops of refrigerant pipes, making them incredibly hard to get out. God forbid anyone ever needed to maintenance this thing. Anyway, got the top off. Now I'm trying to take it all off as one cage. That way I can put it back easy. It's gonna be real difficult how tight we are to the wall. But anyway, yeah, because this coil is pretty dirty. So off finally. Yeah, this coil needs some love and care. Yeah, I kind of scooted out the unit a bit, just to kind of force it out a little bit more so it would be a little easier, but still was difficult. Anyway, I'm gonna clean this coil inside and out, put her all back together, and go from there. The customer's hose is a bit leaky, but I'm gonna wash this coil off from the outside first, then the inside, and then if a bunch comes out, I'll wash it from the outside again. So that's the plan. All right, we got that coil nice and cleaned up. What I did was I went on the outside first, then I sprayed from the inside and got some dirt and stuff out. Some brown stuff came out there as well, and then just did one more little rinse on the outside to get any little bits that were still left. There was so much in this, the gutters in the bottom, so much gunk left in there. Once I put the unit back together, I'll probably spray all that off the pad. But yeah, it's all started raining. It's muddy. This is definitely a dirty job, but I'm trying to get this coil the healthiest we can before the summer starts. So almost forgot to clean off the cage, so I'm gonna do that now. All right, get the old cage cleaned off, and I'm gonna try and struggle, I'm sure, with getting it back on to here, because Goodman is usually not easy on me. So we'll get that done. My butt getting all this back on. I had to special zip tie some fan wires out of the way because it doesn't really have a good way of keeping the fan wires away from the blades. So had to do some funky stuff. Now I'm nervous to put this back in. I'm gonna have to dry this off and then hope for the best. Back in safely, thank God. She's running, so I'm gonna get this panel back on, and everything looks pretty good. I'm pretty sure those amperes are good. I'll check that out here in a minute, make sure all those amperes from earlier looked good. But I'm gonna get this panel back on and just go tell her that I would recommend a new disconnect and some ductwork modifications down in the basement to make sure that that 80,000 BTU furnace is getting enough air and not overheating, not overcooling and freezing and all that good stuff. So that's my main concerns.